internationally through a master franchise model, offering partners the opportunity to develop the brand across India. The franchise programs includes multiple scalable format, from flagship experiential diners to contact to compact outlets, supported by comprehensive assistance in site selection, store development, training, supply chain management, marketing, and ongoing operators. The brand aims to build 40 to 50 premium locations in India in next 5 years, starting with major metro cities. And to talk more about this, I'm joined with Ron Kane, who is the president for this brand, along with my colleague. We have Vivek, we have Dikesh, Anirudh, Ravi, and Kushagra. But before we start and talk more about the brand and the business opportunity, I would like to thank all the viewers who have joined, managed to get some time in the evening to join this webinar. You know, I would also request you all to, please keep on posting your queries in case if you have any related to the brand or the business, we will take them up during and after the presentation. Now, if I may request Ron to take the lead. Let's get started. Let's start with a little bit of your introduction, and then, the brand journey so far, and then we will. Then Kushagra is going to help us understand the financials. Over to you, Ron.
Thank you, Bharat. Thank you, Bharat. Appreciate the introduction. Good morning, good evening, everybody. Welcome. My name is Ron Kane. As Bharat said, I am the president of Kuma's Corner. I want to thank everyone for taking the time out and for your interest in Kuma's. We're excited to share our story with you, and we're particularly excited for what's ahead, especially in the India and GCC market. I've got a couple of people from my leadership team that are also on the call. Mike Kosiak, our director of operations, Joe Dickerson, who is our PR director, social media director, and then Adam Schadenfroh, who is our arts graphics designer. So with that, we'll get started. First, I want to talk about our research in the India market and kind of go through what we've uncovered and why we're so excited about the market. So we'll start with our first slide. And Joe, if you could share your screen. Hello?
Yeah, perfect. We can see this.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so first of all, I want to start with 817 million reasons. What we want to convey with that is we're excited about the 377 million Gen Z population, as well as the 440 million millennials, totaling 817 million people. And according to our research, the youth tend to dominate the trends in India. 65% of Indians are under age 35, reflecting the country's young population. And like I said, youthful Indians seem to overwhelmingly shape the dining and social trends, especially in the larger cities. With that, we'll go to our next slide. The golden window. So Kuma's believes that India represents a golden opportunity. Industry forecasts project India to overtake Japan to become the third largest food service market by 2028. India's food service market is projected to surge from about 78 billion to roughly 120 to 125 billion by 2030. The organized sector restaurant segment, chains, cafes, and cloud kitchens is expanding at what we projected or seen for 12 to 14% compound annual growth rate. And the source of that was Swiggy. Next, we'll talk about the rising middle class. India's middle class represents to us a great opportunity, especially in the larger cities. Disposable income is rising and young adults are postponing having children. According to our research, India's per capita income is accelerating. GNI per capita is projected to reach 3,000 by 2026, which is triple its 2009 level. We see a fertility rate of approximately 1.98. India's at a below replacement fertility, so it appears that young couples are marrying later and having fewer kids, which leaves more disposable income per person. And then urban concentration, top tier cities seem to dominate the spending on food and beverage, which comprises 70% of the food and beverage consumption in India. One trend we also see, which is similar to the United States, is that people seem to eat with their phones. Indian youth learn about eateries online. For example, social platforms like Snapchat, which has a user base, 90% user base of age 13 to 34, tend to drive restaurant discovery. Digital word of mouth, if you will, is huge among Gen Z. Food sharing. Young Indians love sharing food experiences. 75% of Gen Z share their food on social. And YouGov India poll found that 18% of Gen Z millennials visit fast food chains multiple times monthly. Roughly 1/3 of Indian youth follow restaurant brands online, seeking updates and deals. Social media engagement with F&B brands is very high. So we'll get to talk about Kuma's. One brand, three models. So we have a casual dining model, QSR, and kiosk model. Casual dining leads. We've seen the growth rate in casual dining outlet count for 48% of the organized segment share versus 27% for QSRs. And this is according to a trade association in July of 2024. Eating out seems to be routine entertainment. Average monthly dining out frequency we've uncovered to be 7.9 visits per month. And then young consumers increasingly are viewed dining as a regular social activity, not just special occasions, aligning with the rise of casual entertainment venues, which in our opinion is where Kuma's fits in. Craft culture and credibility. So now I'm going to get into the story of Kuma's Corners. Kuma's Corner isn't just a burger joint. It's a Chicago institution that has fundamentally changed the gourmet burger scene by marrying heavy metal subculture with high-end culinary craft. The origin of Kuma's Corner, as Brad referred to, dates back to 2005 when it was originally called Raven's Corner and located in Chicago on Belmont and Frisco Avenue. Was founded by my brother, who was a culinary background. I helped on the business side of things as well. I had a restaurant background also during my college years. Kuma's Corner wasn't always a burger juggernaut. It started as a neighborhood bar that happened to have a grill months after opening. So we changed our name and we had a key to name Kuma. So that's where the name Kuma's Corner comes from. And Kuma in Japanese means bear. So thus our logo is a bear with a moon. So Kuma's Corner pioneered the gourmet burger movement in 2005. Originally, the restaurant had two burgers on the menu, both named after Akitas. One was Kuma and the other was Kaijo. These burgers were monstrosities of fresh ingredients and flavor. Kuma's is famous as referred to as our 10-ounce fresh house-made patties with obscure gourmet toppings served on a fresh-made pretzel roll. You couldn't get a burger like that anywhere at the time back in 2005. And believe it or not, putting an egg on a burger in 2005 was considered avant-garde. Knowing that the burgers were the feature, we pivoted our menu in the restaurant to a neighborhood gourmet burger bar that people would want to hang out in. My brother pulled out his recipe book, turned up the heavy metal music and went to town. Another important part of this story is Mike loves metal. I'm more of a classic rock guy, but he's a heavy metal guy. And he's tattooed from head to toe and loves his heavy music. Kuma's was created as a place that music enthusiasts and foodies would hang out in. Kuma's is now playing heavy music and playing it loud. By 2006, the menu shifted to focus on burgers, drawing on his passion for heavy metal. Mike created and organized the menu, naming the burger creations after his favorite bands, such as Iron Maiden, Slayer, Black Sabbath, which happens to be Guy Fieri's favorite. Everything on the menu was made from scratch and prepared in-house. Small local businesses were valued by Kuma's. Consequently, ingredients were sourced locally. Kuma's also supported the local craft beer industry. Most food offerings were paired with local craft beers that most people had never heard of before. Kuma's also supported the local craft beer industry. Most food offerings were paired with obscure craft beers that most people had never heard of before. Kuma's Corner was the first craft beer bar in Chicago to tap the flagship IPA from the Lagunitas, now a staple of tap lines across the world. In 2005, Kuma's was the only bar in Chicago to carry 3 taps of brews created by the famous brewery neighborhood, and we blasted metal music in the notice and came and eat, and they certainly did. So why India? Burger craze. India's burger market, excuse me, is booming. Swiggy processed 40 million burger orders in 2024, making it the second most popular dish, with 44 million orders in 2025. Craft beer growth. India's beer market is expanding, especially the craft and specialty brews. One analysis projects the craft beer segment to grow from 5.8 billion in 25 to 38 billion by 2034. And finally, Western style foods seem to remain aspirational among Indian urban youth. Major chains like Domino's and McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken continue to expand, reflecting craving for global flavors. Last but not least, Kuma sits at an intersection of these trends. It appeals to burger enthusiasts, heavy metal culture fans, and experience-seeking diners, all growing segments among young Indians. Our secret. Kuma has an incredible creative food that people love, combined with an immersive music eccentric culture. We use fresh ingredients and do not use freezers or microwaves, and our sauces are all. Food is the primary reason for the sustained success of Kuma's Corner. Food is about 75 to 78% of our sales offerings. Where compared to most burger bars and gourmet restaurants, there's typically like 60-40. To promote creativity and unique offerings, Kuma's Corner has created a special burger every month since 2007, and we've termed it the Burger of the Month. The burgers are named after metal bands, and many times the band collaborates with our chefs in the creation of the burger. Nowadays, the bands that we partner with are actively seeking us out for collaboration. As a matter of fact, I got an email last night from someone wanting to do they're coming to town in September and they want us to do a burger for them. Many bands consider it an honor to have a burger named after them at Kuma's Corner. We've created burgers with some of the biggest names in the music industry, and we have a collaboration calendar planned out a year in advance. The creativity of Kuma's culinary team is constantly on display as the burgers of the month are released on the first of every month. Kuma's Corner has an eclectic customer base from rockers to foodies to businessmen to grandparents and families. We have developed a huge following over the years with many regulars at all locations. We have many team members who have been with us for a long period of time, many over 10 years. I want to specifically talk about a busser at our original location named Clemente, who has been with us since day one. So he's been with us for almost 21 years come June. Our executive chef at Belmont, Dan, has been with us since 2009. Our executive chef in our Schaumburg location, which is where I'm sitting right now, has been with us since 2014. And I have a bartender in Schaumburg named Liz. Most of our front of the house staff in Schaumburg have been with us since day one. Liz has been here since 2014. And if Liz is available, which I think she's here, I'm going to have her come and say a few words about her experience at Kuma's Corners. So if you can welcome Liz.
Uh, well, can anyone hear? Ron, I think there seems to be some, Joe, maybe seems to be some problem with the audio, right? We can't hear. Ron, there seems to be some problem with the audio, right? We can't hear you. No, there's no voice.
Okay. At any moment, if you'd like me to just take over for a little while, I can, or if you want to wait for Ron, that's all right as well.
Uh, well, Ron can, the rejoin by the time you may take over.
Okay. So our next slide, let's see here. Our next slide is basically our accolades and how we came about. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yes.
Okay. So really we kind of like got this national acclaim kind of overnight, like once we were featured on a television show called Check Please. And this is a television show that's nationally syndicated, and it's where three people from three different places will pick each restaurant, and they'll patronize it and they'll dine it and they'll discuss it. So someone picked Kuma's Corner, and once we were on the TV show, that started a whole new craze. We started to have these lines, we started to have long wait times, and it was really something magical was happening. Right after that, a couple
Joe,
other,
Joe, can you
yes,
hear me?
yes, you
Yes,
back?
yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, you want me to take over?
Yes, please.
Yeah, sorry about
Thank
that. I
you.
don't know what happened, but
No
okay.
problem.
All right. Tech Technology issues, obviously. Yeah, as Joe said, after Check Please, we had like 2 to 3 hour waits. Lady Gaga actually even waited in line in 2010 to get in. But the other TV show that I want to mention is the Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives that's hosted by Guy Fieri. Some of you may be familiar with that. It's a show on the Food Network. So he travels around the United States trying restaurant food, and then obviously does a special on it. And then in April of 2009, he contacted Coomers and asked if he could come in and eat. And he sampled everything in house, from our jalapeno poppers to our house made chili, multiple burgers, and bowls of our gooey mac and cheese, which people love. He was amazed at the creativity, the originality, the flavor combinations, and the bold attitude of Kuma's. The recognition that would shoot us in the atmosphere of the cheeseburger glory. Um, we've received national and international fame, as you can see from some of the accolades on the screen. People of all walks of life began to make the pilgrimage. As I stated, Lady Gaga waited in 2010 before she opened on a Thursday night before she opened at Lollapalooza. She gave us a shout out when she got on stage, and she said, "I just had the best burger last night," and it was the Judas Priest burger. She then again returned in 2017 while touring in Chicago. The music got louder. The thrill of Kuma's Corner was not just anymore, and I was for the whole world. So we have received from for and recently the seen their magazine being 17 most influential burgers of all time. We even visited multiple from day and one of his and our former Chicago mayor Rahm Emanuel and current Illinois Governor Pritzker have both written congratulatory letters to Kuma's, congratulating us for our accolades and recognition. We are proud, obviously, of our award and the recognition we received, but we also validate the brand as we move. 20 later, we still apologize ourselves. Basically, running slowly. It's like franchiser in 2000 single list category. Many right here.
Well, again, there seems to be some problem with this with the voice. Uh, it's breaking a lot. Joe, would you like to take over?
Yeah, sure. Okay,
Your internet
so
seems to be okay. Yeah.
yeah, can everybody hear me well?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, we're almost finished with this, and I'll run through the last two slides. So we know that India is the second largest franchise market worldwide. It has 4,600 franchisers and nearly 200,000 outlets. We got that source from Franchise India around 2019. The F&B dominance, 35% of all franchises in India are making it the single largest franchise category. Many international F&B brands have thrived in India. For example, Domino's, Wendy's, Tim Hortons. Those are just a few, but that it seems to be the market. It seems to be where things are happening right now. And Kuma's Corner, we have established history. Since 2005, we've been doing this. We've opened multiple locations and have always had success. The acclaims never stopped coming in. Everyone is aware of us, from national to international. We're known pretty much everywhere. Our concept is right, the timing is right, and the format is right. So, if this is your first time franchising, please look to us because 2026 marks Kuma's first franchise outside the US, and we're very, very excited for it.
Fantastic. Of course, we are also very much excited to have you here in India. The kind of picture, mouth-watering picture we saw was really amazing, right? Kushal, let's also talk about the financials, right? And then we'll move on to the question answers.
I guess
Thanks, Joe.
Digesh is here. So yeah, Digesh will take care of this.
Okay,
Sure, I'll do that. I'm just sharing my screen. Just give me
sure.
a moment.
Okay.
I think I have not access for regarding the sharing the screen, but if you can just give me some
No, you
access.
have it.
Okay, let me try. Yeah, yes. Is my screen visible?
Yeah.
Perfectly fine. So for Kuma's Corner, we have three different models in the form of takeaway, standalone, and flagship. Where have we considered the different store sizes where the investor can seek the different options regarding as per his capabilities and capacities, like how he can go and move further. So store size for the takeaway would be 400 square feet, then standalone would be 1000 square feet, then flagship would be 2500 square feet. Average revenue per order for this would be $6 for takeaway, $9 for standalone, and $11 for flagship. Then average order on the day-to-day basis would be 106 for takeaway, 113 for standalone, and 133 for flagship. Now average sales per store is $637, $1,118, and $1,463. According to like the days being counted in the month wise, and the sales per month would be $19,107, then $30,550, and $43,883 per dollars. Now comes the net sales is it's like without GST, the GST would be $955, then $1,527, $2,194. Gross sales would be for takeaway it would be $20,062, $32,077, and $46,117. $46,077. Now comes the food cost for the different models as per the standard. 30% is the food cost that we have taken, which will cost 5,732, 9,165, and 13,165 for flagship model. Packaging cost 2%, $287, $458, and $658 for the standard for the flagship model. Now the total food cost would be 32%, including the food cost plus packaging cost. That would be $6,019, $9,623 for standalone, and $13,823 for flagship model. Rent, what we have assumed as per the benchmarks, that would be $3,000 for for the takeaway model, 5,200 for standalone, and 10,500 for flagship model. Then comes the total fixed cost would be 3,000, 5,200, and 10,500. Considering all the staff salaries and incentive wise, we have done some breakups as well regarding the operational cost. Considering the staff salary would be $1,440, $2,400 for standalone, and $3,600 for flagship model. Then staff incentive, 1% of the revenue is $194 for takeaway, $310 for standalone, and $445 for flagship model. Utility expenses, including the electricity and water, $1,200, $1,600 for standalone, and $2,200 for flagship model. Operating expenses, $770, then $171 for standalone, and $1,349 for flagship model. Marketing funds are the 2% of the revenue, that is $387 for takeaway, $619 for standalone, and $890 for flagship model. Total operating cost, including all the above, would be $3,991, $6,100 for standalone, and $8,484 for flagship model. Based on that, the EBITDA margins is 4,935 for takeaway, 7,768 for standalone, and 8,406 for flagship model. Some of the aggregator commissions are being included. 2% standards is $387 for takeaway, $465, and $667 for flagship model. If you talk about the payback and all that, so the total yearly profit would be for takeaway would be $54,572 for the takeaway, $87,640 for standalone, and $92,863 would be for flagship models. The return on investment, if you talk about the payback period, is 14 months for takeaway, 15 months is for standalone, and 17 months for the flagship model. Additional to that, there are some breakups as well regarding the investment options. So the total estimated cost, total investment would be $61,200 for takeaway, $78,100 for standalone, and $122,600 for flagship model, whereas the store capex is considered for the takeaway would be $8,000, standalone $18,000, and $37,500 for flagship model. Equipment cost, $20,000 for takeaway, $20,000 for standalone, and $40,000 for the flagship. Franchisee fees is lucrative and much in the affordable rates, is like $25,000 for takeaway, $30,000 for standalone, and $35,000 for flagship model. Branding and signage would be $1,400 for takeaway, $1,400 for standalone, and same with the flagship model, $1,400. Pre-launch and marketing and promotion activities spend would be $2,200, $3,600 for standalone, and $3,600 for flagship model. IT and POS would be considered as 4,000 for takeaway, 4,500 for standalone, and 4,500 would be for flagship model. Whereas license and permit would be $600 for takeaway, $600 for standalone, and same goes with the flagship model, $600.
So overall, Digesh, I think the three models that we have, it starts from almost like 55 lakh rupee of investment, right?
Yes, yes,
And which goes up to 1.1 CR in
yes.
INR.
INR,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
All right. Meanwhile, in case if anyone have any question, anything that you would like to ask, any, you please keep on sharing it in the Q&A. You must have seen that these burgers are not as a regular burger that we find in India. When they unlike standard burger which we find here in India, this is altogether different ball game. It is heavy metal themed, counterculture, and also have a signature 10-ounce gourmet burger, which is almost like 300 grams, the weight size, with a massive portion size and a bold flavors. So all these combines and make this brand absolutely different, which we don't have right now as of in India. That is what the best part of this brand is. I think we should not go deep dive more into the financials. I think if anyone would like to know more about the brand and the business, particularly the financials, I think you should connect with us separately, where we can go through with all the deep dive financials information. We'll go through the Excel sheet. However, in case if you look into this overall opportunity, I think if we talk about in INR, I think the gauge, that is what we said, that it is almost like it starts from 55 lakh rupees. Maybe the next option is, I think, almost 80 lakh, and the biggest one, the opportunity goes up to 1.1 CR in INR. Is that true? You're on mute.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. apart from that, what plan we have in order? Do we need also to procure something from US, or maybe or like everything we will have in India itself? What's the plan for that, Kushal? So all the
So
ingredients and
yes.
everything will be procured in India, or like what? How
So
we
I
have?
think they will be open to both the thing. I would suggest. I mean, Joe will be able to tell about this thing because again, mostly, I mean, again, the supply chain will be actually very costly if we actually, I mean,
Correct.
get
So
all this. Yeah.
right. So Ron, what is the plan for this supply chain management? Or if you could also tell us if there is any equipment which we will have to procure it from US, or like what is the plan overall?
No, I mean, not from the US. We will, be working with whoever the franchisee operators are to source locally in India.
Okay. And what would be the the training part? How would you ensure that we in India get the same taste and the quality which you maintain there in US?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's an imperative for sure. We will have people on site. What we're anticipating is for 2 weeks, have 1 week pre-opening and then 1 week post-opening to work with recipes, work with chefs, and make sure that the ambiance, the vibe, and everything else is up to our standards.
Okay. And also there is a question like, are you strictly looking for the country master, or are you open for the unit or the area developer model opportunity as well?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're open to both for sure.
Okay, so we can go for the unit model as well, right?
Correct. Yes.
All right. Any question from your end, Ravi, or maybe Vivek? You would like to ask any question from your side?
No more questions. He is good. Well explained by.
Correct. So we probably have seen all your products, right? Look wise, all were amazing, and trust me, we I don't think that we have that in India. So I mean, yet, so this is gonna be something new to us. And I mean, in case if anyone would like to go take this as the first mover advantage in your particular area, you can connect with Ravi. Ravi has already share his contact details in the chat box, so you can get in touch with him, on his mobile number as well as on his email ID, and we will then arrange, the next course of action where we will go deep dive into the Excel, understand the financials, look into the opportunity, and then we will decide what to do next. So that will be the great. I mean, that was the best way to, go for this brand. I think that's it for the day, everyone. Thanks so much, Ron, for coming here today. I would also like to appreciate all the viewers who stayed with us almost 40 minutes, understanding, knowing more about this brand. This is indeed a great opportunity. In case if you would like to get in touch with us, you please connect with Ravi. Before we end, Ron, would you like to share any closing remarks from your end? What message you would like to give to the Indian, the investors?
Yeah, first of all, I mean, apologize for the technology issues. We're having some
No,
internet
it's okay.
issues
It
over here,
happens.
but
Yeah.
yeah, so I appreciate the understanding. But no, like I said earlier, we are super excited about the India market in general, in GCC in general. We feel like it's a good fit for your culture. Our brand, obviously, we would tailor the menu to local tastes and palates. And as you said, if anybody's interested in talking further, we're happy to answer whatever questions and dive deeper into a possible relationship. We're excited for that market and feel like together we can create a global icon in Kuma's Corner because we certainly are proud of our food and our product.
Fantastic. So, all right. So, I think that's it for the day, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening in this webinar. I appreciate you. But as I told you, that it is indeed a great opportunity. It can be a first mover advantage in your particular area. In case if you would like to get in touch with us, please connect with Ravi. He's already shared this number in the chat box, and we will take the discussion further with Ron. That's it. Thanks everyone for joining. See you tomorrow once again with a new brand, and we'll explore another business opportunity. Till then, take care.